I came to the classroom by way of working in a summer educational program that was theater-based, and so I was really excited to take some of the things that worked well in a theater setting and apply them to the classroom. One of the things that's sort of beloved at the program is doing a duty dot on the very first day, where we invite the entire staff and all the kids on stage, and we do a duty dot, and it's really silly, and it builds great community. And so I thought for my very first morning meeting, that's exactly the tone I want to set for my third graders. I want everyone to be really engaged in this community practice together. And so I stood up and I told everyone we were going to do a duty dot, and a couple of students joined me, but before long, the whole thing was a total flop. I was performing for a room of third graders, and the only engagement I was really getting was like the stray laughter or the sort of uncomfortable feeling in the room. And so I decided that that wasn't exactly the type of engaging practice that was going to work in the classroom. And I ended up turning to things like point systems and treasure chests to kind of get my students really engaged. And it felt like pretty much right away, the second I started saying, I'm gonna give you a tally for this, or I'm gonna give you a star for that, and students started earning prizes, that there was a lot of really good engagement. And for a number of years, that really was working. And then someone challenged me, to think about like, are the practices that you're using in your classroom really intrinsically motivating, or are your students motivated by having a thing that they are going to get? And that really resonated with me. And that's when I started thinking about like, what can I do that's going to build that engagement and community that I loved so much at this theater program? And that's when I started leaning into identity work and getting students to share the parts of their identity that were really important with me, the parts that they weren't comfortable sharing. We started thinking about having students make name tags for their desks that represented who they were. And I started getting students to write true stories about their lives that really gave me a lens into who they were. Now I don't use treasure chests or prize boxes. I found that really at the core of what I'm trying to do, what I wanted to always get at, was building a really strong and engaged community. And that's where I found a lot of success in the classroom. My name is Thomas Nickerson. I'm an alumni of Lesley University's Masters of Elementary Education program, and I invite you to join me this fall for my seminar, The Engaged Classroom: Strategies for Motivation and Engagement, where we're going to dig into trauma-informed practices, thinking about how to draw on students' cultural assets and how to design lessons and work that leans into Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences, so that you are creating work that's meaningful for every student. Above all, I'm hoping that we're going to work together to create a shared understanding of how one builds a classroom community where students are engaged in work that feels meaningful and joyful. I hope you'll join me.